So you've got 1 or 2 children and you need a car that's going to take you from school drop-off to a long road trip. You don't want it to be super fancy, but it's got to be nice and it's got to perform every single day. Enter the Hyundai Tucson. I was in the Tucson Go, which is the bottom of the range in the automatic petrol 2-wheel drive version. It competes with cars like the Toyota RAV4 and the Mazda CX-5. But is the Tucson the dark horse of the mid-size SUV category? I drove it with my family for 7 days to find out. One of the best things about the Tucson is that I got in here and thought, oh, I wonder what spec this is, because it's actually really nicely designed and it looks great to be in. And with such a big difference between the top and bottom of the range in price, I think that's important. The Tucson Go comes in at just over $30,000, and for that you will get fabric seats that actually look and feel great to touch. The center console has changed in design slightly from last year's model. Everything has been moved up, the touchscreen's up, the climate controls are up, and everything's quite clearly laid out and easy to use. The steering wheel feels good, even though it's not leather, which is not ideal, but we are in the base model, and it doesn't stop me from feeling good in here. I think that's partly because the outside looks so great. The exterior has been freshened up with tiny tweaks to make it slightly more modern. It tapers up at the back window to give it a sporty edge, and it's not as boxy as a RAV4, but doesn't quite have the same aesthetic appeal as a CX-5. Still, I feel really good in it on the road. And it drives really nicely. You can certainly tell the difference between this 2-litre engine compared to some of the smaller SUVs I've been driving over the last couple of weeks. This car just goes really well, and you don't even have to push hard down on the accelerator, even on freeways that I've been driving. It just powers easily. It's smooth and it handles well, and it doesn't feel heavy. Nor does the steering, which is quite important when you're doing 3-point turns or trying to get into tricky parks. A nice easy steering is what I'm after, and the Tucson delivers on that. It has a reverse parking camera that is clear and high def to help you out while reversing. The Tucson Go only comes in a 2-wheel drive option, so you'll have to go up a few specs to get the all-wheel drive, which is helpful with traction on the roads if you often drive on dirt or gravel roads, or if you're an avid skier and want to drive in the snow. Fuel consumption is a claimed 7.9 litres per 100 Ks, which is fairly average for a car this size. When you get into the Tucson, it is spacious. The backseat easily fit my 2 children, aged 5 and 7. Their little legs didn't even hit my tall husband's driving position, no matter how hard they tried. You're also able to fit a 3rd child seat in the middle. I tried it with 2 boosters and a baby capsule. It'll be tight, just like it would in most other mid-size SUVs, but it will fit. At 161 centimetres, I fit really nicely back here, and this is behind the tall driving position. There was lots of space, so tall adults and gangly teenagers will be perfectly fine. You'll miss out on air vents in the Tucson Go, however, which I think is a bit of an issue for a car this size. And let me tell you, it was nice to see my husband with a bit more room in here than we have been for the last couple of weeks in small SUVs. He had more leg space, more head space. There was a comfortable amount of room between us, so we were really happy in this car. There's not much in the way of automation in this base model. It still has a manual key start and a manual park brake. There are 2 cup holders in the front, a small one and a largish one, a spot to throw keys and a phone, a bottle holder in each door, plus a really decent sized center storage bin. The boot is a good size for a mid-size SUV. At 488 litres, it is bigger than a CX-5's, but not as big as a Honda CR-V's. It will easily fit a pram, and I lugged this around all week and was able to put boxes of fruit and veggies on top of it. With all seats down, it's rather large for transporting things around, and you'll also get a full-size spare tyre here too. The tech is good. All Tucsons come with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which just means that you can plug in your phone and be instantly connected to the 7-inch touchscreen. You can play music and podcasts to your heart's desire, and you can also use voice control to make calls and send texts. It's all the tech you could want for 2019. Safety-wise, the good news is that you get airbags for driver and front passenger, plus side curtain airbags that extend to the back row. You'll also get 2 ISOFIX points and 3 top tether points for children's car seats, but you will be missing out on some of the latest safety technology like auto emergency braking and lane departure alerts. However, if you opt up to the safety pack, which costs $2,200, you will get all of the latest safety tech, so things like auto emergency braking, blind spot monitoring, recross traffic alerts, lane departure alerts, and a bunch of other stuff. If you're willing to upgrade to the safety pack, the Hyundai Tucson Go is a really great family car with good value attached. It's nice to drive, has enough power, a really good amount of boot space, and it fits the whole family. I gave it a family rating of 8 out of 10 because I think it just fit into our everyday lives beautifully. My children also gave it an 8, even though they couldn't kick the back of their dad's seat. Like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, or click through to our website.